Hello and welcome to Joliet, Illinois for race number 12 qualifying session here. As first onto the track appears to be, yes it is, the Domino's Pizza Dodge for Gene Sanford. 10th place in the points for the 55 car. And so far a great season for that team. Wasn't expected to do a whole lot. They didn't come into the season with any points. And yet here they are, 12 races in. They have 3 Provos available to them if need be. And like I said, 10th in the points for the 55. Stephen Paul III coming out onto the track now, the Holiday Inn Chevrolet. 2 wins on the season for him. Finds himself 13th in the driver's points. And 14th in the owner's points. Another team that's done a great job this season. They still have 7 of their Provos available to them out of 8 that they've pretty much gotten. 4 for starting the year, and then the others just through starting or attempting races. But Steven doing a great job this season, as Gene Sanford now has set the fastest lap of the session. That will change, obviously. Doing a great job though. 2-time winner this season, both on road courses for Steven. Alex Hawkins just getting out on track, as he is 43rd in the driver's points. That team is 44th in the owners. He has to make it in on speed if he wants to race. Same for Will Lewis on if he wants to race. The 6 car is dead last in the owners points coming in. AAA Ford not been good all season. It's currently 7th quickest in the early going. Kyle Collins currently finds himself 3rd quickest at 27:40. Collins is 20th in the owner's points coming in, 19th in points, still looking for that first win on the season in the Tide Chevrolet. Sam Curtis currently finds himself 2nd quickest, now number 1 at 27:24, a great lap by the 66. As Sam Curtis, 39th in the owner's points with that 66 car. Needing to pretty much probably make it in on speed if he wants to race. Momo Akari currently 4th quickest as she's heading to pit lane now in the Miller Lite Dodge. Momo Akari 6th in the points coming in, both driver and owners. So doing a great job this season for the Miller Lite Dodge, and in what has been usually viewed as a cursed car number in this series. Chris Louvier just hopped up to 9th quickest at 27:50 as Zorline hopped up to number 1. Chris Louvier has missed 3 straight races right now in that 24 and finds himself 38th in the owner's points as a result. Needs to pick it up, and we're hoping that he will be able to make this race. John Zorline, quickest man in town at 27:10. Zorline has to make it in on speed if he wants to race, and he just improved his time even more. New look for Max Newart this week, 27:19, his fastest lap, but red Lucas Oil on the number 4 this week, and Newart had to make it in on speed as well. Ben Newart finds himself 4th quickest at 27:24 right now. The Waste Management Dodge doing a great job so far this weekend, and Newart finds himself 30th in the owner's points coming into the race here today. For the race weekend. Tom Shelley, 3rd in the points coming into this race weekend. Knows he will race. Currently 24th quickest though, as he will take it back to the pit lane. Tom Shelley losing the points lead last weekend. More on that later, I guess. But it's been a rough stretch of races here for the 45, looking to turn around a little bit. Okay, here we go. Theo Stegall, the most recent race winner, currently finds himself 26th quickest at 27:60. Theo doing a great job right now for the team. They will probably race. They're like 11th in the owner's points coming into this race for John's Mansville Menards team. So doing a great job there for DEI in a fill-in effort for Henry Stanford. Levi McIntyre just ran his quickest lap of the session, and it's been up for 14th quickest right now at 27:38. Levi comes into this race 23rd in the driver's points, 24th in owners, and that is key because the 99 does have a win this season with Levi behind the wheel, so Levi currently would be in the race. Mason Powers is currently second quickest at 27:18. And Powers had to make it in on speed if he was going to race this weekend. Mary Shelley is 6th quickest at 27:25. Doing a good job so far. 21st in the owner's points with 5 past champions provisionals still left. They actually have used one of their owners provisionals this season, but have only used one of the past champions. Sky Commons knows, in fact, that he will race, just a matter of where. Currently, he finds himself 8th quickest at 27:26. He is 4th in the points coming into this race, 4th in owner's points as a result. As Max North is currently 3rd quickest. I don't remember seeing him up that high. But Commons doing a great job this season in the Valvoline Dodge. Again, one of those numbers that really has never done well. But then again, that was also with MB2 Motorsports. They made the switch to Evernham and to Sky Commons, and apparently it's paid off. I almost thought they were going to wreck. Troy King currently finds himself 28th quickest at 27:62. We'll have to see if that time can improve at all. Troy King comes into this race 12th in the owner's points, 11th in the drivers, as he's now right behind the 55. Never mind. Troy King not looking terribly quick here this week. I'm not sure why, but he will have to try and improve that time a lot. I think he should be good enough on points though. Dylan Casella is a guy who will not be good enough on points. 25th quickest right now. He definitely needs to pick it up in that 06 Ford for Roush Fenway Racing. Had to make it in on speed. We actually have had a wreck apparently. And I don't think it involved Kyle Matthews. So, Kyle Matthews, though, we'll talk about him. 29th quickest right now at 27:67. And currently, Matthews comes into this race 27th in the owner's points. So I think he's going to need to improve that time if he's going to make this race. Alex Perkle finds himself 27th quickest and 19th in the owner's points coming in for the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. Not doing terribly bad, but not doing terribly good this season either. Is currently the highest DEI car in driver's points, but the 15 is the highest in owner's points. I've yet to talk about Jeff James as he's just coming out onto the track. 22nd quickest right now at 27:43. So he's definitely going to try and improve that time a lot. 15th in the owner's points for the Aaron's Ford coming into this race weekend, so not doing terribly bad. Still looking for that first win of season number 4 of the 2006 season. So we'll have to see if Jeff James can do that here this weekend. Preston Plord, in a strange turn of events, getting outclassed by his teammate here this weekend. Currently he's 27th quickest at 27:47. And Preston 8th in the points, both driver and owners coming into this race weekend. So quite interesting that he is having this sort of problem. We've yet to talk about the Waste Management Chevrolet DJ Curtis, who currently finds himself 13th quickest at 27:29. Boy, what can you say about DJ season? 13th in the owners, 12th in the drivers. This was the old number 10 car, and it has lived up to expectations and then some. I mean, this was a team that no one was sure how they would do. And they have definitely risen to the occasion here this season. Just in front of him, heading to pit road, is Brendan Patterson in the 17 post Maxwell House Ford. Patterson comes into this race 26th in the owner's points, has actually been overtaken by the 99 in points for top Roush honors. And currently Patterson 25th quickest at 27:46. Have you talked about Jake Bassinger, although I think we've seen him on screen so far. 21st quickest for the 18. He had to make it in on speed if he was going to race, so currently I don't think he will. Jessica Shelton currently finds herself 20th quickest right now in the Cascadian Bake-Off or Dodge, I mean. Can't believe I almost said Chevy. I know, yeah, I'll see Pete for that later. Jessica comes into this race 34th in the owner's points, so looking for big improvement here on this lap at some point. Jeff James, talking about big improvement, just jumped up to 4th quickest. Right now, Shelton, though, all by herself out there on the track. Speaking of all by yourself, Hiroshi Kazuyoshi has a little bit of help out there with friends, but currently finds the 20th quickest at 27:37. Kazuyoshi gonna need to make improve on that time. It actually does not have to make it on speed necessarily. 31st in the owner's points coming in for that 59. Jeff James just jumped up to 2nd quickest now. We have to talk about Ash Curtis there in the 78. As now that lap time falls off a little bit. But Ash Curtis currently finds himself 16th quickest at 27:35. National Day of Prayer on board that 78 car this week. And Ash Curtis was going to have to make it in on speed if he want. Actually, no, never mind. He's 37th in the owner's points coming in. 78 car has done a really good job the last couple weeks. Time to watch some of the guys around the border. Let's watch Troy King, who just set his quickest lap of the session at 27:36. Trying to improve it a little bit more. He is 18th quickest. Let's see what he can do. No. Let's see what Sky Commons can do back here. Well, really, most of these guys are pretty solid other than the 60. Oh, and Alex Perkle has wrecked, and so too has Dylan Casella. Huge wreck. That will mean both cars going to a backup car. We'll have to... I'm not sure. We'll have to try and take a look at that maybe if we get a chance. Looking for... Let's see. 6 is on pit road. I think the 99 is 2. Yeah. What about the 59? Trying to get to 27:36. Needs to pick up about 100th. Boy, that was a weird wreck based on the skid marks. Patterson trying to improve his time at all. I will do so yet. DJ Curtis probably would like to improve his time if he can. Time's looking to be pretty solid right now. Gonna watch DJ's lap, see what he can do. Come across the line. Waste Management Chevrolet does not go quicker. You do those guys. How about Max Newert though? 4th quickest. Great lap by Max Newert. Let's see what DJ can do this time around. Funny, he's trying to get a draft off the Waste Management Dodge and the Waste Management Chevy. Not looking like they're going to be able to do so. Let's watch the 43, who is in the process of passing the 15 car. That's not going to help the lap. I wouldn't expect this one to be faster than that 39. Nope, 74. 202 miles an hour, though, going off into turn number 1. See if she can get any sort of a push from the 2 car here and improve that lap. 22nd quickest right now. Time getting ready to run out. Flying laps will count here. One final shot for the 43. Let's see what she can do. 23rd quickest, 27:39. Someone jumped up. No. Like I said, Kyle Matthews jumped up to 9th quickest. Great job by the 09. These will be the final laps that essentially count. Let's see what it is from Mary Shelley here. 27.85. So that will do it for group number 1. Jonathan Zorline is fastest, and it's Jeff James, Mason Powers, Max Newer, Sam Curtis, and Ben Newer. The top 6 that know that they will race on Sunday. The other ones will have to sweat out group number 2 to see if they will be able to make it or if their points will be good enough. But that does it here. Alex Perkle and Dylan Casella, the 2 guys who wrecked, the slowest 2 in this session. I'd say fair to say Jake Bassinger will be out of the race. Probably going to be a DNQ. Same for Dylan Casella. Beyond that, not going to really say too much about who's where. All I'll say is wait till after group number 2. We'll know it all then. And stay tuned. We'll be right back after this short break. We are back for group number 2, and Charles Jackson is first out onto the track in the Chrysler Financial Dodge for Evernham Motorsports. Not much to say about Jackson, other than that he will have to make it in on speed if he wants to race this weekend at Chicagoland. Daniel Day is 28th in the owner's points, and so we don't know whether or not he will be safe on the points. So he will try and definitely make it in on speed if he can. Things we figured out about that session, though, that in this session, Ish Taylor, William Duncan, and Allie Nelson will have to make it in on speed because of what happened in the other group. Also stuff that we figured out, Mary Shelley probably not going to have to fall back on the past champions, 8th quickest. Jim Casella in the 96 coming out to the track currently finds himself 33rd in the owner's points coming into this race, 32nd in the drivers. Not really important on that though because he doesn't have a win yet this season. The Hall of Fame Racing team has had an interesting start to their career here in the Coconut Cup Series. Needless to say, at least on that. They're doing a decent job for themselves. Ashley LaPlante in the 31 finds herself 17th in the owner's points, 16th in the drivers with that race win from Auto Club still. So looking pretty safe to be in the chase as well with the Singular Wireless 31. Sam Young in the 07, one of the 2 hometown heroes we will get to in this session. The DirecTV Chevrolet for Sam Young, doing a great job this season, currently is 25th in the owner's points, so actually not as good as I thought. But they've had a lot of great moments here and there. William Duncan just trying to get up to speed still, but finds himself 3rd quickest right now out of the 9 cars to set a lap. As now goes up to 27.79 still, okay. Charles Jackson was 1,000th of a second quicker than Daniel Day though. That is amazing. Duncan knows that he will have to make it in on speed though, currently 7th quickest. Matthew Mariah is just getting up to speed right now in the 19. He has to make it in on speed if he wants to race as well. Eric Powers currently getting up to speed. Just went out the 4th quickest at 27.45. Great lap time there. Eric Powers has to make it in on speed if he wants to race it. They have fallen out of the top 42 in the owner's points with the 88. Steve Pollard, 2nd in the points, knows he will race, just a matter of where he will start. Currently finds himself 12th quickest. He's only like a handful of points out, like 27 or something like that. Time's picking up. Dylan Thoreau now to the top, staying now for Eric Powers. And Eric Powers just ran a lap quick enough to make it in on speed. That pushes it down to Chris Louvier, who is very borderline on whether or not he will make it in. Could be 4 in a row for the Hendrick Motorsports 24 car. Also, Jim Casello locking a spot in the field with a dead tie with Ben Newark. But talking about Kenny Bailey here, who's 12th quickest right now at 27.46. Kenny Bale is 32nd in the owner's points. Looking to try and improve that. Needs to probably make it in on speed if he's going to race. Amy Shelley knows she will race. She is 5th in the owner's points coming into this race, 5th in drivers as well, but currently finds herself as one of the slowest. 27.79 is 29th quickest in this session. Let's see what she can do this time around. A little bit quicker. Chris Washer is 4th quickest at 27.26, almost up to the top 6 from the last session. But Washer comes into this race 16th in the owner's points in the number 5 for Hendrick Motorsports. Doing a great job being the top performer out of that team this season so far. Ashley LaPlante knows she will race. She just went up to the top of the board of this group. There we go. There's Allie Nelson. She has to make it on speed. 27.56 right now, though, would not be good enough. Allie Nelson just struggling all season long, and right now it doesn't look like she will make this race. Ish Taylor's going to be a bit iffy. He's at 27.42. I don't think that time would be good enough either. He needs to get in behind someone and just run some laps. I don't think Ish Taylor would be good enough to make it in on that lap time either. There's Eric and Rage. He's 9th quickest right now on the board with a 27.35. Currently finds himself 23rd in the owner's points. Has only missed one race. Now just fell down to 10th. So Eric and Rage are doing a decent job this season in the 29. Matt Dixon had to make it on speed. Currently will not. 27.50. Robert Pollard had to make it in on speed as well. 27.38. That's going to be a bit questionable on if he can make it in. And hold on one moment, you'll hear some stuff moving around. As while I was getting that stuff situated, Charles Sanford just jumped up to number 1 on the board, and he will be in the race. He knows that for a fact. Talking about Austin LaPlante though now, next on up, 16th on the speed charts at 27.37, and Austin comes into this race 29th in the owner's points in the 25 car. Jay Stella had to make it on speed, 12th quickest right now at 27.35. I think that will be good enough to make it in. Henry Powers here in the 90, 27.50. 27th quickest is how I was coming up with Steve Pollard there. Or the Pollards and all. That's where he was at in placement on the speed charts. City Financial Ford, though, doing a good job this season. 7th in the drivers and the owners' points, actually. The class of the field for Robert Yates Racing this season. Zach Preller trying to bring out Powerade this week to try and make the race. 27.31, 10th quickest in this session, as Ish Taylor also jumped up there a little bit at one point. But Preller comes into this race 36th in the owner's points, desperate need to make in a race. Axel Casella right now is 19th quickest at 27.37. He'll like to improve that time, I know that much. That time definitely will not be good enough to make this race. There's the quickest man in town right now, running with Tristan Wilhoit on the racetrack. As Charles Sanford, not a lot to say, 18th in the owner's points. And they've done a great job at being able to make every race, surprisingly. Tristan Wilhoit is 23rd quickest right now at 27.38. He had to make it in on speed, and right now it doesn't look like he will. Mason Neal's struggling this week in 27.51, 28th quickest in this session. And he's 9th in the points coming in that 12 car, so interesting to see this team struggling. Ashley Brock currently finds herself 12th quickest at 27.31. Ashley had to make it in on speed if she was going to race. Pretty much been the story of that, though, all season for the rookie. Dylan Young finds himself 22nd quickest at 27.37. That's our points leader there, and one of the other hometown heroes in this race. The Budweiser Chevrolet not looking terribly quick. Oh, Dylan Thoreau nearly got taken out by Cosmic Nova. Thoreau is 16th quickest in this session at 27.34. Not sure how good that's going to be, but 35th place in the owner's points coming into this race. Cosmic Nova is safe. He will race the 41 car. That will push it down even farther now because Cosmic Nova was one of those that had to make it on speed if he was going to race. Trying to look for the next car that we have not talked about yet in this session. We have not talked about Seth Cole in the 42, 26th quickest. Had to make it on speed. Doesn't look like he will. That is everyone we have talked about. And Charles Jackson just went up to the top of the board. 27:15. Not quite yet to the pole speed, but a great lap by Charles Jackson will put him in the race. I'm trying to look at who we're going to look at, though. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 01 of Jay Stella, because the times are quicker in this session as an overall. By my estimations, Jay Stella might be the 36th place car right now on the speed charts. So trying to look at it this way, let's see what Jay Stella can do if he can improve his chances here and be off that bubble a little bit. Gonna try and let Charles Jackson go by, it looks like. Try and get a draft off the 9. And Stella's in the wall. Let's go to the 11, see what he can do. Kenny Bale is behind some people, so that's a good sign. The times definitely are quicker a little bit over in this session, like I said. Let's go over to the 80, see what he's got going. He's in the wall. Axel Casella, wow. How about Dylan Young, who's on pit road? Okay, what about Robert Pollard? Running all by his lonesome a little bit here. Got Charles Jackson though coming up. He's 3/10 quicker than him. What about the 40? He's just coming off pit lane. Seth Cole's trying to battle with Eric and Rage. That ain't good. What about the 48 of William Duncan? He's running in front of the 41 right now. That might help him a little bit. Saw 203 going off into turn number 3 though. Just ran his quickest lap of the session. Doesn't improve him though. 27:54. Let's see if his good buddy here, Cosmic Nova, can help him at all. Meanwhile, by the way, Dylan Thoreau and Amy Shelley have run laps quick enough to lock themselves into the race. 27:35 is the lap time. Not going to be... Well, he improved his time again, but again, not good enough to improve his position at all for William Duncan. Now he needs to get in behind the 41, close up the gap a little bit there, and be able to try and close in on the top 18 in this session. Someone just improved. Jay Stella just got bumped. Matt Dixon up to 11th. 27-27. Now it's Austin LaPlante on the bump with a 27:35. See what Duncan can do. 2 minutes left in this session for William Duncan to try and make the race. He's got a great draft this entire lap. 27:37 with a 5. It's good enough to move him up to 25th. He's still about 2/10 off, or 2/100ths of a second off, actually. 2/100ths of a second off of Austin LaPlante's time. Can Duncan do it in the next minute? He's got about 3 timed laps left. That lap was a little slower. See what he can do. Down the back straightaway. Trying everything he can. You can see how much he's wheeling that thing around this track. Almost there. 39 that time. Oh, he's sliding it again off turn 2. Looks like his car's just maybe a little too tight to be able to get the job done. He counters that by being a little loose over in 3 and 4. Now Cosmic Nova starting to get the draft off Dylan Thoreau. No improvements up at the front. Trying to watch William Duncan try and drive his way into this race. This probably is his final timed lap. No. And based on the fact timing not scoring, yep, this session is in the books. So the front row will be Jonathan Zorline and Charles Jackson. Boy, that is an interesting front row, but a great job. Congrats to those guys. A look at the bottom of the results, though, as that will do it for the session. Mason Neal slowest. Let's see if he gets in on Provost. Henry Powers, let's see if he can get in. Steve Pollard, we know will race, but it's going to be on a Provo. Like I said, though, I think the 36th place guy to get in will be Austin LaPlante. I may be wrong, but I'm just looking at the times from the other session. It's either going to be... It is going to be really close. I don't know exactly, but we'll have to just wait and see. A lot of go or go home cars, though. Making this race means it's going to be pushed up a little bit higher than normal. Who's making it in? You'll find out right after this.